The Rockets win the season series 3-1. The Rockets player of the game, brought to you by Frostbank. Let's see, I'll pick Harden. How's that? 61 points, 9 of 13 three-point field goals. And he missed 3.
The numbers are ridiculous. They're video game-like. James Harden, again, his second 60-point game, tying his career high with 61. We're sitting here talking offset. You both mentioned your career highs, Rex 42, Coach 43. Can you imagine what it feels like to get 60?
No, absolutely not.
Only if
He
I
did
was-
get one dime tonight, though.
James Harden putting on a show, the most points ever given up to an individual player by a Greg Popovich coach team. Kyrie Irving once held that record when he dropped 57 for the Cavs. This is just crazy seeing this.
It really is crazy, but you know, you think about it, he went pause for a while and then he scored 13 straight points out of the 17 that they scored coming down the stretch. So he said, I'm rested, I'm back, I just needed to blow it. Paul, you hold the ball for me for a minute. Okay, give it back to me and I'll go and finish the game for you.
He'll look back one of these days and scoring the most points against a Greg Popovich coach team, I think will be one that he'll really look fondly on, because that's a heck of an accomplishment.
Heck of an accomplishment indeed. Michelle Margot is talking to James Harden. Let's check it out.
James, you tie your career high 61 points. You did it earlier this season at Madison Square Garden. What does it mean to you to be able to do it in front of this home crowd?
I'm happy. I'm happy we won. We gave up a terrible loss last game. We wanted to bounce back and give them credit. Spurs is a great team. We played 4 quarters of great basketball.
You had 27 points in the first quarter alone. Not many people will ever know what it feels like where everything that they put up goes in. What does it feel like being in the zone like that?
You got to be locked in. You got to have that mindset to where you're just in attack mode every play, and that's what I was in tonight.
9 regular season games left. What is the most important thing heading into playoffs?
Win. Win.
Thanks, James.
Taking a look at the Western Conference standings, you see the Warriors, of course, sitting top right at the 1 spot, tied with the Nuggets, with the Rockets. 4 games back, not necessarily a chance, you think, to catch the Nuggets, but still, they will possibly avoid playing the Warriors until the conference finals. I know seeding is very important, but one thing I want to ask you, and Rex, I'll start with you. Of course, it's an outstanding accomplishment. Will James Harden be able to have these type of performances in the postseason? We haven't seen that in the past couple of years.
It's going to be tough because I think, as you saw tonight, the Spurs late in the game taking the ball out of his hands. They probably needed to try to do that a little bit more tonight, but that's what you have to do, and I think you'll see a little bit more of that in the playoffs, because I do not think some of these really good coaches out there in the Western Conference are going to let James Harden go for 60 in playoff games.
I hate to be the Debbie Downer, Coach. You can speak on it as well. So if you're facing James Harden, what's the strategy?
Well, you either got to double and make somebody else beat you, but he's an incredible player. He shoots way behind the three-point line. He has shake and bake to his game. He gets to the free throw line. So it's difficult to say, we're going to just take him. They try to double team him on a couple of plays, and he just splits the double team and goes in and makes the layup. So that's what great players do. You say, why did you let him catch the ball? Why did you let him take the shot? Because that's what great players do. They get open, they get the ball, and they make shots, and that's what he does. And I think he'll be able to do it early in the playoffs, but as you go further down, more teams have people that can match up with you.
The last 2 games, he scored 118 points, 61 tonight. That is, I mean, it's crazy saying it. Rex is over here laughing. I'm laughing inside as well. That's something you don't hear often, but just an impressive stretch. Once again, take a look at it. But the best stat, thank you, Rex, for pointing this out, he had one assist.
One dime, diming up people.
Harden with 1 assist tonight.
I love it. He's not paid to get assists. He's paid to put it in the basket.
James Harden is going to join us right now. James, you heard us say 1 assist. I mean, is that not the most important stat of the night?
Hey, listen, don't try to make me a selfish player. I'm very unselfish. I'm very unselfish.
No, we know all about that. We know you're not the black hole. You're always amongst the league leaders in assists. But just talk about how you were feeling tonight. We saw the 61 back in January against the Knicks, but then you get to do it tonight in front of the home fans. How did that feel?
I felt great from the beginning of the game. I was in attack mode. My shots was feeling good, and I just try to keep that rhythm and that pace the entire game. You know, the Spurs do a really good job of trying to take away our perimeter shots. So it was me being in attack mode and being aggressive tonight. They made a huge run in that second and third quarter, and even in the fourth quarter. And we just tried to keep our tempo, get some stops when we needed to, and I wanted to be aggressive.
Well, James, kudos to
Let's
ASU
go,
alum. You started out really hot, really aggressive.
Yeah.
You had 12 free throws in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And then as the game wore on, you seemed to have taken a break, and then all of a sudden you say, okay, it's time to turn it back on, and you get 13 straight points in the fourth quarter to bring your team from behind. And I just wonder, how does it feel when you get in that zone like that and you know can't nobody guard you because everything you throw up is going in?
You know what? I'm always in that zone. It's just I got a conscience in the back of my head to get my teammates involved. And so, you know, it wasn't that I was taking a break. I was just trying to figure ways to get them shots and get them going a little bit because at the end of the day, I'm going to need them. And so that little break in between the second and third quarter, you know, Eric made some shots. CP was aggressive. Guys were getting into their rhythm. And then I see we kind of like bogged down a little bit. So in the fourth quarter, I had to be aggressive and take my shots.
James, I got to watch you a couple years up close, in person. There in Tempe. Could you have ever imagined at 18, 19, 20 years old scoring the most points ever against a Greg Popovich coach team?
No, not in a million years. Not in a million years. But, you know, Rex, I work every single day. I work every single day to be the best that I can be, you know, and even nights or days where I don't want to get up or I'm tired or whatever the case may be. Because honestly, like I got a chance to be one of the the best players to ever touch a basketball. You know, as a kid, that's something you dream of, and so that's the mindset, and that's when I wake up every single day and go get it.
So far this season, you have 8 games where you scored 50 or more, the most since Kobe Bryant did it back in 06, 07. Do you take a moment and pinch yourself or smell the roses per se and be in the moment and realize what you're doing from a historical perspective?
No, I don't have time for it. You know, these numbers are great, you know, but I'm honestly trying to do whatever it takes to help my team win. You know, we have a bigger goal, and, you know, we can't stop until we reach that goal. So I'm never satisfied, and we got a long way to go.
We know how dedicated you are when it comes to playing. When you hear the phrase load management, what do you think? What are your thoughts on that phrase?
What is that?
Load management.
I'm a hooper. I love to hoop. I know hooping isn't going to be here forever, so I'll let her do it. I'll let her get out there and compete. The best days are when your legs are a little tired, you know, and your shots isn't falling. Those are the best days because you got to figure a way to get through it. So, I love to go out there and compete and hoop.
Of course, we all love your competitive spirit. Right now, you're sitting in the 3 spot in the Western Conference, getting closer to the playoffs. What's the mindset for the team? What's the vibe right now in that locker room down in Houston?
Well, we're finally healthy, you know, so we just got to catch a rhythm, you know, basically offensively, you know, knowing where guys like to be defensively, where our rotations are going to be, what our coverages are. And once we get that rhythm, we have 9 games to do it, and then we'll take off from there. But we're excited.
118 points the last 2 games, but the most important thing is you got the dub. Throw your dubs up one time. James Harden, thanks for joining us on Game Time.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, man.
Of course, James.